selects Kenneth Grant, defensive tackle.
There we go. There we go.
What if I told you that the Colts are celebrating like they won the Super Bowl in this clip because they might have? The Super Bowl missing piece was drafted at 14th or 15th, wherever the Colts were drafting. I don't know. But there's a trend going on at the NFL draft and at the Super Bowl that I've been following really closely over the last couple of years, and I'd like to bring it to you guys and have you let me know what you think. I think I might have found out what the position is that you need to fill in order to go to the Super Bowl. Look at this. Check this out. Really think about it when you look at Super Bowl history, right? What position has always been strong? Go back to Super Bowl I. Go back to the early days. John Mackey, Marv Fleming, these guys were iconic tight ends of their time, and they both won multiple Super Bowls with their teams. Flash forward maybe another generation forward. Go to the Super Bowl 20s or so. Brent Jones with the 49ers. I think he won multiple Super Bowls, right? 2 Super Bowls. He's a part of a dynasty at tight end. Keep going. Let's talk about another Cowboys run. Another Cowboys tight end. Jay Novacek. What, 3-time Super Bowl champ? A part of another borderline, possibly dynasty, as you say? I don't think that they were close enough together, were they? Cowboys fans, let me know. Jay Novacek, key to a dynasty or no? You keep going. Go into the late 90s. Back-to-back Super Bowl wins by the Broncos to close out the century. 1998, 1999. Everyone remembers John Elway, right? Everyone talks about John Elway, the helicopter spin in the Super Bowl to beat Brett Favre. They don't talk about who his tight end was. I know you know who it was. Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe was the tight end back then. He's still doing things that revolve around tight ends, but Shannon Sharpe was the tight end back then for those back-to-back Super Bowls. And then 2 years later, Shannon Sharpe leaves the Broncos, goes to the Ravens, and they win the Super Bowl too. So 3 out of 4 years, Shannon Sharpe was a part of Super Bowl winners. And then, do you remember Heath Miller, Dallas Clark, who we've already mentioned in the podcast earlier today? How about Jeremy Shockey, Dennis Pitta? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. No, really. There is a tight end on every single Super Bowl team, it seems like. Do you remember a guy by the name of Rob Gronkowski? Part of all those Super Bowl teams? What about even after Gronk? You keep going. A lot of people talk about the Philly special in that Super Bowl. Everyone talks about the Philly special in that Super Bowl. But no one talks about the Superman game-winning touchdown from Zach Ertz, which is hanging in the Hall of Fame. Very front when you first walk in, right to the right. Don't ask how I know. Also, I'll be at the Hall of Fame game this year if anyone else is Charger fans that want to go and see Antonio Gates get inducted to the Hall of Fame. Speaking of tight ends, I wish Antonio Gates could have been on this list of Super Bowl winning tight ends. Maybe have replaced Travis Kelce, who's won 3 Super Bowls at the tight end position. You know, you see what I'm saying here. And when I went back and I looked at all the Super Bowls, right, looked at every winner and every loser, 89% of the Super Bowls had a tight end on either side, either the loser or the winner of the Super Bowl, NFC or AFC, who was a top 10 tight end at their time. 89% of Super Bowls. 72% of the Super Bowl winners so far in history have had a top 10 tight end at their time, undebatably, on the roster, in the game, playing, starting. And I didn't even bring up guys like George Kittle, who's been in multiple Super Bowls. It's insane. It is insane to think about when you sit here and you go, wait, I can't remember any Super Bowl that didn't have a star tight end in it. Is this the key? Is this the missing piece? Are the Colts celebrating like they won the Super Bowl in that clip because they did? It's a possibility. When you look at this trend and how it's going down, teams are starting to also draft tight ends in the first round. Now that hasn't quite worked out exactly as well as some of these tight ends that I just listed, like Kyle Pitts, obviously, is the most infamous one that people talk about. They also, you got Brock Bowers, who just came out of the draft last year, who kind of proves it right. Says, okay, this guy worked out of the first round at tight end. But then you got stories like Eric Ebron, or you got these random first-round tight ends that just don't work out at all. At all. This is why the Chargers really need to look at tight end. They really do. because I think that the Chargers, they could really use their Vernon Davis. And the Chargers did draft someone, 6'6" tight end out of Syracuse in the 5th round this year. But I'm not going to be sitting here and holding my breath for 5th round tight ends. So I'm hoping the Chargers find their missing piece as well, like the Colts did with Tyler Warren, which I thought was a great landing spot for Warren. Shane Steichen's offense kind of is perfect for this guy that can block, come off play action, get wide open down the field, catch the ball, get in open space, make a lot happen in the yak. He can do it all, really. Very George Kittle-esque. It's perfect for Shane Steichen's offense, which I think is going to be Jonathan Taylor-led next year. So you're going to get a lot of those times where Tyler Warren gets a linebacker, he gets a great mismatch, and that play action. The question is going to be, can the quarterback get him the ball? And with Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones there, I don't know for sure what's going to happen. That position is very much in flux for the Colts right now. If you tell me that Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of the Colts, hell yeah. I'd be in on Tyler Warren's rookie year in fantasy football. But I think I'd probably be holding off on the rookie year. I'm going to wait and see what happens. I don't know if it has as much potential to be as great as Brock Bowers because he's not the only guy on the offense. It's going to be a run-first offense. I don't know if the Colts are going to be as bad as the Raiders, playing down in as many games as they were to throw it to Brock Bowers, have him catch a 70-yard touchdown for no reason, put it on the stat sheet, and show off for everybody in the stadium as well. So I think that is an issue for the Colts that could hold back the Tyler Warren to the Super Bowl take or Tyler Warren to the Super Bowl draft pick. But another tight end that got drafted right on the edge of the top 10 that landed in the perfect spot is Colston Loveland to the Chicago Bears. And Colston Loveland reminds me so much of Jimmy freaking Graham. This guy is a basketball player out on the football field. He's not as good a blocker as Tyler Warren, but he's super underrated. And Harbaugh didn't recruit this guy because he's a pussy. He recruited this guy because he's an absolute madman in the blocking game. He puts all effort into it at very minimum. He is going to be a top tight end in the league if his quarterback situation can click. But I feel a lot better about the Bears. I feel a lot better about Ben Johnson than I do Shane Steichen. I feel a lot better about Caleb Williams' outlook than I do Daniel Jones, than I do Anthony Richardson. And I think that the Bears are heading in the right direction as a team. And what they did this offseason could flip that thing very quickly. I don't know if they're going to compete for that division right away with how good it is in that division. You got the Vikings, the Packers, the Lions to compete with. But I think they are going to show some signs of life immediately this year. And Caleb Williams is going to be a much better quarterback. I still think Caleb Williams has as high a potential at quarterback as anyone. I still think he has first overall pick payoff. I think it's still there. We'll see if I'm right or if I'm wrong, but I think that the Bears are the ones that might have actually found the missing piece to their offense versus the Colts. I started the video, but although the Colts, great pick. I mean, I think they were probably going to be going to Loveland. I wanted the Chargers to get Loveland to slide to him somehow, but every single time I did my mock draft, I could not see them see either tight end getting past the Colts. Sure enough, they took them. So we'll see if this ends up being their missing piece. We'll see if this gets them into that 89 percentile Super Bowl runs with first-round tight ends. Not even first-round tight ends, just top 10 great tight ends of their time periods. We will see.
Bill Flames, I went Mike on the mic. With something brand new, one time for your mind. He gave you fair warning. Now it's time to smack him in the mouth with that raw sports talk from the town. Sweet chin music to your favorite sportscaster.